Gears of War is truly back. We are back in full force, and it's been so surreal to see the hype surrounding Gears again, all thanks to Gears of War E-Day. It really does feel like the good old Xbox 360 days. Gears of War is about to be mainstream once again. However, we gotta discuss Gears E-Day, the release date, and the future of the franchise according to the Coalition Studio and Xbox. So as always, I'm your host Abz, and without further ado, let's get into this. Now, just before the Xbox Game Showcase, we all just assumed that the next mainline game was going to be Gears 6, a continuation from 2019's Gears 5, right? It was the next logical step. No one expected Gears of War E-Day to step up to the plate. But why did the Coalition even decide to do this? Well, TC said the following. Of course, this isn't the end of other ongoing stories in the Gears series. The team is content with the stories told in Gears 4 and Gears 5 and is by no means abandoning them, but the collective passion for such an iconic origin story was simply too great to ignore. The story of E-Day and the origins of Marcus and Dom are such powerful, pivotal events that the Coalition couldn't wait to tell it. We're super proud about Gears 4 and Gears 5 and the stories that were told. We're not retreating from that storyline in any way, but in this moment, we had an opportunity to write our next step, and this one just felt too good to miss. It's also important to know that E-Day is not a spin-off, it's a completely new entry to the mainline series, set earlier in the timeline. Now, just before I dissect these quotes and give my opinions, I want to share this clip of Phil Spencer talking about Gears E-Day.
Well, the one more thing, which we were all hoping for and got, was a new Gears of War game, but it wasn't Gears 6.
It was not.
It was not Gears 6. So, what you have a visibility into everything, but I'm curious, when you're in a meeting with, maybe it's Matt Booty, maybe it's Alan Hartman, but the Coalition folks, like when you learn that they've gone down the E-Day road, the prequel road, rather than Gears, like what was your reaction when you found out that that was going to be the next direction for Gears of War?
Well, you know this. We've had some changes in leadership at the studio. Rod, who was there, is now leading Diablo for us. So I actually thought, a Diablo game I'm playing a ton of, I thought it was a nice opportunity for that team to establish their Gears, right? And following on Gears 5, just because the numerical thing, like I think it would this was an opportunity for them to take it back to an origin story that I know you know, that has a lot of like real depth to it in terms of Emergence Day, and tell that story through the Coalition as it is today. I thought, like, what a great opportunity. I was excited. And then you probably saw, I know you heard it, the Mad World tune in the play piece.
Oh yeah.
Like for those of us who remember the 360 commercial, like how iconic was that? So when they went back and sourced that and brought that through the piece, I think it just showed that they kind of stayed true to what Gears is, but tell a new story, new arc.
So this clip, coupled with the quotes, just tells you that Gears of War 4 and Gears 5 was the work and vision of the original TC team and leadership. But after Rod Ferguson left the Coalition in early 2020, along with other prominent figures in the studio, the Coalition slowly began to rebuild itself with new leadership, new devs, and a new vision. They went back to the drawing board like I've always hoped for. They returned to the roots of the franchise, and as a studio, rediscovered what makes Gears of War essentially. The dark, gory, almost horror-esque elements will return in Gears of War E-Day, and I cannot wait. I'm so glad that they've taken on board all of the feedback over the past few years. They wanted to tell an iconic origin story and give back to the fans, and get the fans on board again. And with that trailer, they nailed it. We're all on board once again, and we are so freaking back. According to the quotes, I think Gears 6 will still happen later down the line, unless TC does scrap that story, which I know many people, including myself, wouldn't mind. But I guess if they do tell that story, then it'll probably be a bit of a soft reboot to bring an identity and make it feel like a Gears of War game. But hang on, if Gears E-Day does absolutely insane metrics, reviews and so on, then I think that they may just want to turn it into a trilogy, or at least tell another similar story from the Locust War. So I think that Gears of War E-Day will release maybe next year in 2025, However, I believe they haven't given us a date to avoid us having expectations in case there's any delays, because even when you look at Gears E-Day on Steam, it says coming soon, but for Doom the Dark Ages for instance, it says 2025. So it could be that they just don't want to set expectations as of yet. But with the remastered collection, call me naive or stupid, but I still do believe that it's real and has been developing under another studio. It just makes too much sense. So I've been thinking, and I have two theories. Either Gears E-Day releases in 2025, and then the Gears collection releases in 2026, as a continuation to that story, but also as a way to celebrate the 20-year anniversary of the franchise, and to bring the games onto PC, Steam, etc. Or my second theory is that Gears E-Day will release in 2026, on the 20-year anniversary, and Gears collection will release or even shadow drop sometime in 2025. So this would bring the best games of the franchise to PC as well, all remastered and up to date with the latest tech, and getting many new fans on board as well, ready for E-Day 1 year later. Of course, Gears E-Day is an origin story, so you don't really need to release the collection to give fans an understanding of the Gears universe and story. That can potentially come after in 2026, alongside the Gears Netflix movie, but I don't know, I'm fine with either option. Either way, us Gears fans will be eating good. It's a new era for Gears of War, and the future is looking bright once again. The gears really are turning again, and this new phase of Gears is so exciting. I cannot wait to hear more details and see what's next. Thank you so much guys, I appreciate and love you all so much. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't done so already. And a big special thank you to all of the YouTube and Patreon members, I appreciate you so much. I'm your host Abz, and as always, I will catch you guys next time.